There is a name on a map, Whiskey Creek. It sounds like a secret. It feels like a story someone forgot to finish. The name sits quietly next to a larger, louder place called Fort Myers. People drive over its bridges every day. They pass its quiet bends of water. Cars hum on smooth asphalt. Most drivers do not know the name. They do not hear the whisper. They do not see the layers of time hidden just beneath the green surface of the lawns, the dark water of the creek itself. It is a place of slow water, leaning trees. Its story does not shout, it waits. The mystery starts with that name, Whiskey. Why would a creek in sunny Florida carry such a name? It hints at something hidden, something done in the shadows. Long before any settlers arrived, long before the name Whiskey Creek was ever spoken, this was the land of the Calusa. They were the first people here, a powerful and complex society. For thousands of years, they lived in harmony with the water and the seasons. The Caloosahatchee River was their highway and their larder. They built their world from shells, wood, and the incredible bounty of the estuary. Sprawling pine flatwoods, dense hardwood hammocks, impenetrable mangrove swamps. The creek was one of many small waterways feeding the great river teeming with fish, crabs, and birds. Archaeologists have found their marks deep in the soil, shell mounds, fragments of pottery, tools carved from shell, and the bones of the animals that sustained them. They navigated these creeks in dugout canoes, silent vessels moving through a world that was entirely their own. The summers brought relentless heat, humidity, and swarms of mosquitoes. Great thunderstorms rolled in from the Gulf, lightning that could split a palm tree in two. They understood the rhythms, knew where to find high ground, which plants were medicine, and which were poison. When the Spanish arrived in the 1500s, this ancient world began to crumble. Disease, conflict, and profound disruption. By the mid-1700s, their civilization had vanished. The land fell quiet again, forgotten on the edge of a growing nation. Pirates and smugglers may have used hidden coves, but few stayed. The creek flowed on, holding the memory of the first people, waiting for the next chapter to begin. The second wave of people came in the late 1800s. They were not kings or conquerors. They were pioneers, homesteaders, fishermen, drawn to Fort Myers by the promise of land and a new life. They found wilderness, patchwork swamps, and sandy ridges. To them, not an obstacle, but an opportunity. They saw hardwood timber forests, fertile soil in the tree islands, a future they could build with their own hands. Life was a struggle against the elements. Simple houses, often a room or two made from rough-sawn pine with small gardens of potatoes, beans, corn. They battled insects, snakes, and the ever-present humidity. Roads were sandy tracks, like McGregor in its earliest days. A trip to Fort Myers was an all-day affair, by foot, by horse, or by small boat. Tough, self-reliant, lives governed by the rising sun and the turning tide. The creek was central, direct route to the Caloosahatchee, the artery of commerce. Men fished for mullet and snook to feed their families. Fresh water merged upstream with the brackish river. Small, isolated communities were formed, families like the Hancocks and the Powells. News traveled neighbor to neighbor of births, deaths, good harvests. They built a culture of mutual support, sharing labor, food, and remedies, new paths over faint Calusa trails. Their stories became local lore. Every place with a past has a story that's a little darker before it shines a little brighter. For Whiskey Creek, it's baked right into the name. In the 1920s, alcohol was illegal. Away from watchful eyes in Fort Myers, the mangroves along the unnamed creek supposedly hid a moonshine still. Under darkness, men guided small boats loaded with sugar, corn mash, copper coils, deep into the winding waterway. They found a hidden clearing, shielded by trees. There they set up their still. The sweet, pungent mash was masked by the swamp's scent, the glow of fires concealed by dense vegetation. They worked through the night, the clink of bottles and low voices lost in the chorus of crickets and frogs. A raw, powerful corn whiskey, white lightning. Barrels and jugs loaded before dawn, smuggled up the Caloosahatchee or hauled overland on hidden paths. The risk was real. Federal revenuers hunted. Capture meant prison and smashed equipment. If the moonshiners and bootleggers were raided, they would pour the whiskey in the creek. And so the name was born, Whiskey Creek. Did the still truly exist? No one knows for sure. No records, no confessions, no photographs, only folklore. Some claimed their grandfathers knew the men. Others whispered lawmen looked away for a cut. The name stuck, a monument to a rebellious chapter. Beyond the still, other mysteries linger, tales of things lost and hidden. A Spanish ship fleeing a hurricane sought the Caloosahatchee's mouth. Its crew rowed up this tributary, buried a heavy chest of gold and silver, intending to return. They never did. Many have searched. A man named Frank Johnson dug for a full summer, found only rusted nails, broken bottles, and bitter disappointment. The mid-20th century brought a wave of change that forever altered Whiskey Creek. The city grew southward. A new era of prosperity recast Florida as a sun-drenched paradise for retirees and for families. Developers saw waterfront not as farmland, but as neighborhoods. Tracks widened, graded, and finally paved. Roads like Whiskey Creek Drive and Kelly Road followed some old routes, but mostly cut new straight lines across the landscape. Acres were cleared for houses, the sound of hammers replacing the sound of wind and birdsong. The town was born. It's the American dream, complete with warm weather and boat docks in the backyards. The creek shifted from a source of survival to a hub for recreation. The name Whiskey Creek endured. Some live oaks were spared. The creek, tamed and channeled, still flows. It's now 2026. Whiskey Creek is a desirable, established neighborhood. The creek remains its heart, a ribbon of brown, blue, and green with pontoon boats, kayakers, and families on docks. Community groups preserve stories, the Calusa, the Pioneers, and whispers of the moonshine stills. The Whiskey Creek area is a relaxing place with people walking, jogging, or on bicycles. For many here, their golf carts are an easy way to get around besides just on the golf course. And I personally know this because I live here and it's been a blessing. Whiskey Creek is a beautiful, tranquil, little hidden gem in the Fort Myers, Florida area. So if you're ever in Southwest Florida, stop by, play a round of golf, or visit the interesting and historic Edison and Ford Estates right down the road. You'll be glad you did. Thank you for drifting with us through Whiskey Creek. If this story resonated, like, subscribe, and share your memories below. And as always, I appreciate you. Until next time, may your days be as peaceful as this water.